everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or maybe I should welcome myself back. I want to start off by saying I haven't abandoned you, and thank you guys, those of you who have stuck in here while I've been absent. As many of you know, I'm battling an illness right now, and at times it causes me pain and distress so severe that it's all I can do to get through the day. And on top of that lovely little normalcy of my life right now, my computer, which I edit everything on, here I thought I bought Macs. Used to only use PCs, and I bought all Macs thinking, oh yeah, they don't get viruses. Yeah, well, they do. Mine decided to pick a real nice one up and was out of commission for, I don't know, a week and a half or so until it got fixed, and had to delete everything off of it, reformat. It was just a nightmare. I decided today to kind of get back into things. I have a new foundation I want to try, and since I have to get ready anyways so that I don't look like death warmed over, excuse the dark circles and everything, but like I said, it's been a month. Anyways, so I figured I'd get ready and test this while we're at it. And this is the new Covergirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir. So if you're interested in seeing how this goes on and just hanging around with me, stay tuned. Whew. To start with, as always, I'm going to use my By Terry Balm de Rose, which is rapidly disappearing. I'm having to use my nail to dig a little out of the bottom because it's that far down. On to why we're here. Is this baby right? Sure. And this is the newest foundation on the drugstore scene. And I do, by the way, I do have several high-end foundations that are coming up in hauls that I'll be testing out too. But we're going to start with this puppy. Okay, first off, let's go to Ulta's website and see what they say about this. CoverGirl's Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation has a vitamin-infused formula with a special antioxidant and vitamin complex. Finally, a hydrating formula for beautiful, buildable coverage that glides on smoothly for a flawless look. This special antioxidant and vitamin complex plus SPF 20 work together to make your skin look healthy all day. Okay. It says the benefits: it gives your skin a luminous glow. It's available in multiple shades from light to deep. Well, we'll see about that. It's oil-free. Well, that's interesting. Minimizes the appearance of oily shine, and it's a lightweight formula. Now, that's interesting because they say this is a luminous glow, but that it's oil-free and minimizes the appearance of oily shine. And this foundation does sell for $11.99 at Ulta, and it is in 1 fluid ounce standard. I picked up the color 710. So this is the lightest one I could find. It's called Classic Ivory. Let me see in their list here. Oh, they have one called Ivory that shows that it's even lighter than this. So we'll have to give it a try. I already have applied my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream, and I let that soak in. Now what I'm going to do, I want to try and see if there's any difference with, this foundation, how it performs. So I'm going to kind of just try a little test here, and on half of my face, I'm going to do it the way I normally do with, because I have heard that this claims it can work as a concealer too. So we're going to test that theory, and on half of my face, I'm going to use man, my phone just has the absolute perfect timing to tell me that a bunch of stuff was just delivered. I'll be right back. I'm not leaving anything on my front porch because people steal it. So I'll be right back. Hey, sorry for that little disturbance, but I cannot leave anything. Man, I'm telling you, if they deliver something, I literally have to race to my door because I don't know if my house, somebody keeping an eye on things or what, but stuff disappears off my porch mighty fast. Okay, so anyways, as I was saying, I'm going to do half my face as I normally would, half my face with trying to use this as a concealer and see if it'll just set on its own without having to use powder, because I have heard that this particular foundation, the claims are that you don't have to set it with powder. Side of my face, over here, I'm going to apply as normal, using all my normal everything with the foundation. And then this side of my face, which is my right, your left, I'm going to just leave bare and see how she goes. So I'm going to use my Becca brightening, under eye brightening corrector, just in, again, I'm only doing my normal on my left side of my face. Becca under eye brightening corrector, I just wish it had a tiny bit more peach to it. But I know that Becca, at least I believe, Becca has a actual color corrector. I'd really like to try that. Oh, but what I do like about this is very much, oh, I forgot to use my hydrogel lift. Oh, jeez, I'm telling you. This is normally what I put on before I put on anything under my eye, and this is the by Pure. It's their hydrogel lift, and I really like this. It's really moisturizing. I have very dry under eyes, and there's one by Stila that's similar to this. I think it's called their Aqua Bomb, if I'm not mistaken. And you get a lot more than you do with the Pure one. I'd like to try that and compare the two of them. So let's hope that my under eye area does not decide to get all janky on me since I forgot to moisturize it. Yeah, this is good. Okay, well, excuse the color because I have a feeling this is going to be way too dark on my skin. I mean, I'm about as pale as it gets, so we'll see, but I can tell already, just dabbing it on here, that's going to be too dark. Starting with a beauty blender, let's see what she does. One thing I do like about Covergirl's foundations is they don't pull as yellow as a lot of the other ones in the drugstore. I mean, you can see this is definitely not my color. But it has a fragrance to it. And not like a, you know, not like a standard foundation fragrance. It smells perfumey. It smells like they've added perfume to it. I need to put a little bit under my eye, and let's try using this as a concealer on this side, as they say you can. So let's see what she does. So, let's see here. Well, that's one coat. I mean, I can still see, you know, I have a little like blemish here. I can still see some freckles and my little owie on my nose. And you can definitely see the color difference. It's not good. Okay, so now again, this is the side of the face I have nothing on. This is my side that I've got some primer and some under eye color correcting on. So I really it applied really nicely with the beauty blender. So yeah, I mean, I don't have anything to complain about with that. If the color was better, it'd be perfect. I mean, in terms of application so far, if the color weren't off so much. This side, I'm going to try this paddle brush and see how that does. You guys can see it or not, but this whole section right here where I applied the Benefit Professional, it's not sticking. And right here where I applied the Benefit Professional, it's not sticking. Can you see that? This whole section right here and up here. How about my chin? Same on my chin. So it looks like let's try, I'm going to try going over it with my beauty blender in those areas. it looks like this foundation does not like Benefit Professional, at least not with a brush. Maybe if we pat it in and really pounce it into the skin, we can kind of force it to adhere, but yeah, that works much better. It's still, it doesn't seem happy with the Benefit Professional underneath it. If you remember, I didn't put any of the Professional over here on my forehead or my cheeks or this part of my chin, and I didn't have any problem. And this foundation adhered to my skin without issue. I only had a problem when I got over here. Okay, so at least we know that you have to work a little more if you're going to use the Professional. I would not use a brush because it just wipes it right off. You have to really work it into the skin. And I'll be curious to see how this foundation wears over that particular product, because it's a product I use regularly. So that's one coat. I can still see my freckles through. I can still see I got a nice little blemish trying to work its way up here, even though I don't get those very often. And the freckle, my mole there, a little freckly guy there. So it looks like, you know, from the first application of it to be, I would call this probably a good medium. If not, you know, yeah, probably a good medium to high medium. What I'm going to do is I want to try and see if it'll build. So I have a feeling I'm going to like this particular foundation without anything on my skin, believe it or not. I mean, we'll see how it acts around my pores and stuff there as it wears, but so far I really liked the way it just laid on my skin with nothing on my skin. I mean, it kind of seems like, you know, on first impression, it seems like it's one of those foundations that actually just adheres better to your skin as opposed to a primer. My pores aren't super evident. I mean, you can see them. Not anymore. This side doesn't look any different, though, to be honest with you, in terms of the way my pores look. This side actually looks kind of patchy because of the problem it's having adhering to the Benefit Professional. But over here, I mean, look at can you see the glow on my, you know, this area here on my cheekbones? See that glow right there? I mean, so far, I am pleasantly surprised. I really am. I mean, it's not very often that I find a foundation that I can put on, that I can apply, on just bare skin like I used to. I mean, you gotta remember, I'm 48, so I've been around long before primers were ever a thing. You know, I mean, everybody's talking about, oh, they gotta use a primer, gotta use a primer. You know what? I wore makeup for years without a primer and never had a problem, and my makeup lasted just fine. You don't have to wear a primer. I mean, it's just, does it help extend it? Maybe a little bit. Does it extend it long enough for the time you're going to be wearing it? I don't really know, to be honest with you, because for years and years and years and years, I wore foundation and all my makeup without any primer on at all, and it was fine. As far as I'm concerned, you don't need a primer. I think it's more, there's some good ones out there that feel great on my skin. I'm not complaining about that, but you know, my point is, though, you know, if you can't afford all the extras or you don't want to, don't worry about it. I can still see some little areas of discoloration and stuff, but you know what? I don't need to be full coverage. You know, I don't need that on my skin. But I will tell you, it feels, it's interesting. I can always feel things better if I have a breeze against my face, if that makes any sense. It feels like it's setting, and it has a really nice glow to it. I mean, it's really, and I don't see it sinking in anywhere. It's not sinking in here in my nose where I have a lot of problems. It doesn't seem to be sinking into my smile lines, which are significant, or my 11s up here, or the lines on my forehead. I'm very expressive with my face, so, you know, this is pretty much where all my wrinkles are at. My chin is always a problem for me. Right here, and I don't know if you guys have that happen. Right here in the crease of my chin, I have foundation that likes to build up there. So I haven't seen it move there yet, so we'll watch that throughout the day. And under my eyes, you know, I used a corrector on this side, meant specifically for dark circles. On this side, I just have the foundation. Do you see a difference? I mean, maybe a little bit, like just right here where the shadow. What I'd really like to do, I know it sounds ridiculous, but I'd really like to get fillers under my eyes because, you know, I don't have a lot of wrinkles and stuff around my eyes, at least for my age. I hate to say it, but, you know, I see a lot of people I went to school with and stuff, and they haven't aged quite as well as I have, so I'm happy with what I've got. But because of this area here, how it's, you know, as you get older, you lose this fattiness underneath your eyes here, and you can still see a little bit of it, like right here, and that's what that little puffy area is right there. That's a fat deposit still left under my eye. But like if I got fillers in this area right here to fill in these areas, you wouldn't see that. Like if I just move that, see the difference in my skin? How the darkness goes away a lot just from, you know, let me see if I can, I don't want to pull in my eye area too much. See that? How the darkness went away under my eye area a lot? And how different it looks because the skin's smoothed out. So I don't necessarily have really dark circles. What I have is shadows that are catching because of how hollow this under eye area is now. And if I got fillers underneath there, I'd puff that, bulk that up. So I need to find a good doctor around me here and go in and see one and see about getting... Okay, I think I am done. You notice I don't have any lip color on, and that is because immediately after this video, while I am letting this all do its thing, I'm recording a lip swatch video. I'm hoping to get a couple of them done today, but I have... I tried to find as many as I could. How many we got? 3, 6, 7. I can only find 7 colors. I bought all of them that I had. Excuse the noise. These are the Milani Amore Matte Metallic Lip Cremes. And anybody knows me knows if it's metallic, I love it. I mean, look at some of these. They are just gorgeous. Anyway, so eventually I'm going to be getting a lip swatch video done for that. But today, I think I'm going to focus on these beauties. I bought all the colors, at least I think I did. These are the Bite Beauty Creme Lip Gloss, and these also are the, you know, super metallic, like almost duochrome. Some of them, I think one of them or two of them are a trichrome. So I am going to record a lip swatch video on that right after this. So if you're interested in seeing that, keep an eye out. If it's already up, I'll put it up in the tags. If not, you'll see it in my list of videos posting soon after this one. I'm not sure which one's going to go up first. And then I also have a huge Beautylish haul. And I'm going to start with my Beautylish. I mean, I've got, like I said, I've got literally tons of stuff to haul for you guys, and a lot of stuff that's in those boxes will be for upcoming giveaways, so make sure and subscribe and tell your friends and family about our channel so they subscribe. The next giveaway I will be doing is when we reach 500. My first impression on this, I have to say, I'm shocked shitless. I really am. My first impression on the way this feels, on the way it's wearing, on the way makeup applied on it, I love it. Absolutely Love it. Now, for those of you, I forgot to mention in the very beginning, I do have dry skin. My skin is getting more normalized with the, I've been using really aggressive really aggressive skincare with it, which has been helping to normalize my skin, but I still do have dry areas on my face. So that I can find a foundation that's oil-free, that blocks oils, that's luminizing, and feels like this. I mean, I'm stumped. I really am. I'm not kidding you. I've purchased foundations that are, you know, $70, $80, $90 foundations that don't feel as good as this does on my skin. I really am. And I'm speechless. I really am. I mean, the thing is going to be how it holds up. Now, just looking real quick, I've had it on for, well, while I've been doing my makeup and everything, I've had it on for a little over an hour right now. And in that time, I don't notice it sinking into any lines, and I have pretty significant expression lines in my forehead. Don't see it sinking in there. I don't see it sinking into any fine lines. It's not collecting in my nose, which is a real popular place. Which is a real popular place that, you know, foundation kind of likes to park its butt right there and just say, I'm here for a picnic. Either side, it doesn't look like I have. It looks a little tiny bit better on the side I powdered, but still on this side, you know, there's a little, you can see the redness a little bit more through, but still, it didn't make a difference one way or the other in applying my powders over my contour, my blush, my highlighter. I couldn't tell a difference from the side I powdered versus the side I didn't powder. And that stuns the shit out of me. Honest to God, because usually, in my experience, especially with a foundation that has some luminosity to it, if you don't set it a little bit, then when you go to put on your other powder products, it's, you know, they'll skip. Have you ever had that happen? But as you notice, if you look at, I mean, look at that. You don't see where any skippage has gone on, at least not that I can see. And of course, you know, and this is the side that I powdered, and to me, they look identical. I mean, I am, honest to God, you guys, I'm not bullshitting you, because if you knew the horror I've had with foundations, you know, I'm interested. I've never tried any of Marc Jacobs' foundations. I want to try his. I want to try the new Giorgio Armani Power Fabric Foundation. I'd like to try some Lancome foundations because I haven't tried those for years. Same with Estee Lauder. And I'd like to try some of the higher end brands like Sicily Paris and La Mer, because I've never tried their foundations before. But I'm telling you, for a drugstore foundation, I can't even say for a drugstore foundation, because it's that good. It really is. I have a feeling, and again, this is just my first impression. I will check back with you guys at the end of the day when I'm done recording all my other videos I have to record. You know, I was worried about doing, you know, thinking I was going to have two sides of my face, you know, different sides of my face look different. I don't know about you, but can you see any difference on the side I powdered, the side I concealed? You know, I did concealer around my nose. I did color corrector and concealer under my eye. I did some heavy powdering on my forehead and around my nose area, smile lines, and down here at the chin. Honest to God, I don't see any difference at all. It just, and I also used the powder I always use, which is the Charlotte Tilbury Airless Flawless Finish. I use that on this side. And I don't see a difference. Do you guys? I'm just shocked. This feels, and just to give you an idea how it feels on the skin, I don't feel like I'm wearing anything. And I put 2 layers on. And I don't feel like I'm wearing anything. My skin feels light. It feels like it can breathe. The fragrance has gone away. Just for those of you that are curious, that are sensitive to fragrance. It's very noticeable at the beginning, but it's pleasant. It's not, you know, like, it's not what a lot of people claim old lady fragrance. It's a nice, light fresh fragrance. And, you know, so it's not bad, but it did dissipate. But I'm telling you, the way this feels on the skin, and, you know, when I touch, I can feel like, I can feel a little bit of a difference where I powdered in terms of how my fingers go over my skin, but not much. I mean, it's so minimal, and that's just amazing. That tells me this foundation set down, and it's set. I mean, it just, I'm dumbfounded. I really am. For a drugstore foundation, all I can say is if this continues to wear as good as it is right now, I not only will be purchasing the lighter color, which is ivory, I'll be purchasing several bottles of it because this is incredible. I mean, it just, look at the way my skin looks. Can you guys see that? I just wish they'd start, you know, getting some really, really light shades out there as well as some really dark shades. They need to hit the ends of the spectrum. And, you know, they hit it really hard in between, but they don't have enough on either end of the spectrum, in my opinion. And I'll tell you, I saw, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. Who was it that released it recently? I think it was Tarte. They released a new stick foundation. I saw, yeah, it was Tarte, I think. Because I think I saw it, I can't remember where I saw the damn thing, but it's a stick foundation. I saw their color line. I looked at their two darkest colors, and they were red. I mean, straight up red. And I thought to myself, who in the world is going to wear that? I mean, I don't know too many women of color who have red skin. I mean, I'm Native American, and I have a little, you know, a little bit of red in my skin. That's kind of blends with that peaches and cream complexion I have, I think, because of my Native American ancestry. I'm Chippewa. But, I mean, my grandpa, now he had red skin, and I mean literally red skin. He had such a high, heavy red undertone to his skin. It was like nothing I've ever seen. But I'll tell you, I don't know very many women of color who have red skin. And these foundations, the darkest colors were straight up red. And I mean, you couldn't get much more. You know, there was basically red with a little few drops of brown in it. And I just was like, what in the world were they thinking? Kind of like when, you know, I mean, no shade on Nikki Tutorials, but, you know, I looked at her collab and, you know, I can see where she was going for with doing the 3 different colors to fit 3 different skin tones, you know, to try and appeal to the light, medium, and dark. But I thought, I don't know too many women of color who are going to be able to wear an orange highlighter like that. This is like orange red highlighter. I'm like, I just don't know too many women that are going to be able to wear that, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Anyways, so I will check back with you guys after this is done its thing, and we'll, oh, please, 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 to the foundation gods, let this stay the way it is. Please, it would be so nice to have a foundation I can wear that doesn't make my skin look old and leathery and nasty. I mean, you know, my skin, in my opinion, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but in my opinion, right now my skin looks healthy. It looks like it has a nice glow to it. It doesn't look wrinkly and old. And I'm 48. So, yeah. I'll check back with you guys in a little bit. Love you, bye! Hey everyone, I am back to do an update on the Covergirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation. I have had it on now for 7.5 hours, and I'm ready to take my makeup off. So I thought I'd check in with you guys. We'll take a peek at what it looks like and tell you what I think first impressions. So, looks like I've got, let's see here, let me see if we can zoom you wrong way. There we go. Zoom you in a little closer. I see that some of my mascara, you can see I haven't touched anything, literally. The only thing I did was I recorded a lip swatch video for the Bite Beauty lip glosses. They're trio. I'm so tired. Oh man, they're duo chromes and trio chrome. lip glosses. So this, you know, just my lips, I kind of had to remove and then put a little foundation around my lips again and stuff. So that's all I've touched. I haven't touched up anything else. I've put no powder on, nothing. But you can see here under my eyes a little bit where my mascara has transferred on. Interestingly enough, it's transferred worse on the side. Remember, this is the side here that I did normal. In other words, I used concealer, I used a powder before I put everything on. And funny enough, but my mascara is transferred worse on this side than it did on this side with no concealer at all. And this is just over here. Literally, all I did was apply the foundation and then my makeup. I put no powder, no concealer. I just wanted to see how it would react. But as you can see, I mean, it's, you know, my blush and contour and highlighter still on over here good. And same here, I don't notice any difference. Maybe my blush is faded a little bit on both sides. Check the nose area. No build, look at that. Nothing built up and nasty looking there. Over here, same. This side looks a little bit better in terms of there's not red, my redness hasn't come through there, but again, I used powder on this side. So it looks like it held the, you know, the foundation a little bit better, because over here you can see like where the foundation's worn off just in the crook of my nose there, and you can see the redness. I noticed that my pores do look a little, it held up better over on this side where I used the powder than on this side. You know, my pores are a little bit more visible here, and as is my texture in this area. I don't have a lot of texture, but you know, you can kind of see. And let's look at my forehead. You know, my wrinkles are more visible now than they were earlier, but the foundation didn't, you know, sink into anything. So, I mean, it overall, geez. And my chin didn't do that thing that it does with foundation so often where I literally get a buildup, like a stripe of foundation right there. It absolutely drives me insane because it looks like a, you know, I look like I have a butt there when I get a line of foundation right there. And it did not do that this time. Overall, I think it looks really good. You know, all I can say is my first impression of this is thumbs up, without a doubt. Oh my God. I can't remember the last time I tried on a drugstore foundation and had this kind of result. I mean, it just, I can't remember the last time I tried a foundation and had this kinds of results. I mean, like I said, I've been having a hell of a time finding a foundation that looks nice on my skin, and this without a doubt does, and it held up beautifully. I don't notice any difference really. I mean, you know, except for little minor things from the side that I powdered and the side I didn't. And the last time, you know, I wore foundation and didn't powder it, I mean, hell, I can't remember. It was probably in my 20s or something, you know? I mean, it just, and usually when I apply a foundation and then try and go right in with powder products afterwards and not laying down a setting powder first, you know, I get that skipping and blotty where, you know, it basically the product, like the blush, contour, whatever you're using, it, you know, picks up on wetter spots or drier spots or whatever, and that didn't happen. I mean, everything applied beautifully. I'm really impressed, you guys. Again, just to give you a breakdown, I'm 48 years old. I have dry, normal to dry skin. I used to have extremely dry skin, but because of my skincare regimen that I've been absolutely faithful about, my skin has notched up from very dry to just dry, and I have wrinkles, you know, obviously up here. I have a lot of little fine lines around I you know, got the crow's feet here. It didn't sink into those and highlight them. I have the big smile lines down here. You know, I have the, not 11s, I've just got a 1. I'll take a 1 over an 11 though any day. What the hell? I'm dumbfounded. I really am. All I can say is I need to find my shade. Because this, if you saw earlier in the video, this is definitely not my shade. This is 710, which they call classic ivory. I did not know they had a shade lighter than this, which apparently they do. It's called ivory, but I can't find it in any of the stores that I went to. The lightest one I could find was the 710, which is classic ivory. But if I can find my shade in this, then I'm good to go. I mean, this is a foundation I would use every day. I mean, I'm just so impressed. Covergirl, you did it. I mean, if this foundation, I can't stress enough in terms of age, and I've said it in an earlier video, but, when you look at pictures of, like cosmetic companies will use young gals that have perfect skin and perfect bone structure to display their products, and you look at it and, as a woman my age, I look at it and think, yeah, it's not going to make me look like that. If I buy that product, it's going to look way different on me. And that's why I think it's so important for companies to recognize mature-aged women and to give them a chance, too, at sending them PR, because you know what? There's a lot of women out there. Matter of fact, several of you who are subscribers of mine are around my age. And products perform differently on us. It's just the nature of the beast. As your skin ages, you don't produce as much, your skin doesn't have as much moisture as it did, doesn't have as much collagen as it did. It loses, fatty deposit areas, like you can see in my cheeks. If I can point out right here, you see that kind of shadow I have right there and right here? That's because the fatty deposits are starting to break down under my skin. And, you start getting that kind of sunken in look, and you can see those two shadows on both sides. Too bad they're not like down here so I can pass them off as dimples. Wouldn't that rock? Anyways, long story short is that products, without a doubt, perform differently on mature skin. Our skin gets drier as we get older. We have wrinkles to deal with, all kinds of things. So when I look at a younger person, the products on their face, I can't compare that. The only thing I can take from a review or something like that from somebody who's much younger than me is looking at the product color, the product consistency, the basics about the product. Anything that has to do with wear means nothing to me because it's not going to be applicable to me. Whereas it doesn't matter your age when you're looking at a review and you're listening to a review, I'm talking about a product. And the reason I say that is for this very reason. If I put a product on and it performs beautifully on my skin, imagine what it's going to do on yours. If you have a skin type anywhat similar, to mine, if this product, as an example, can perform this nicely on my skin with all of the extra, challenges I have with wrinkles and dryness and all that kind of stuff, if it can perform that beautifully on my skin, imagine how this will perform on somebody's skin that doesn't have those challenges to deal with. I mean, that's basically what it comes down to. And so that's why I say that, companies need to start paying attention to the mature viewers a little bit more. No shade to my younger reviewers out there, because as far as I'm concerned, there's room in this industry for everyone. But, our age group needs to be recognized as well, because we have a very important we have a lot that we can contribute, and not only for the fact of my being able to show how products accurately work on women my age for women that are around my age, but showing younger women how a product performs differently on my skin than it does on theirs. And on top of that, I have years and years of experience working with these products. So when I tell you a product's good, in my opinion, a product is good. If I say it's good, it's damn good. Because I know good and I know bad and I know incredible. And I'm telling you one thing, this, so far, in my first impression, is incredible. Anyway, so that's it for me. This is a big thumbs up for me. I am thoroughly impressed with this Covergirl. You guys knocked it out of the park with this product. This right here, in my opinion, and I may only have had this on one time, but you know what, when it comes to a foundation, it only takes one time to know if it's shitty. Straight up. I mean, if it's bad and it's not going to perform good on your skin, you're going to see it. It's just that simple. You know, may I realize some things about this as I go along testing it that maybe aren't, you know, that are maybe little flaws that I'd like to improve upon, or maybe I'll notice things that are even better about it as I test it. But I can tell you this much, it's not going to turn from awesome, beautiful to absolute crap unless my skin does. I'm thoroughly impressed. This right here, as far as I'm concerned, this formula, this is a standard that they've set a standard. It's just that simple. Covergirl has set the standard with this foundation. So if you are looking for an affordable, wonderful foundation, doesn't matter in this case, if you have oily skin or dry skin or normal skin, I have a feeling that this is going to work for you because, again, this is oil-free. It has oil-containing properties in it for those of you who have oily skin, but it also has a beautiful luminous glow, and clearly it has moisturizing properties with all these vitamins they're talking about that are in here, because if this was a straight-up matte foundation, oil-free matte foundation that didn't have that, I guarantee you it wouldn't look like this on my skin, because my dry skin does not like super dry formulas. I mean, it just doesn't. It's not a pretty sight. And as far as I'm concerned, this is a pretty sight. Anyways, so that's all I gotta say on the Covergirl foundation. So I hope you guys are doing wonderful. You know, if you have any questions or anything, leave them down below and I will get back to you as soon as possible. I promise. I see your comments. You know, I'm doing my best to get in to get the engine going here and get in the normal routine of YouTubing. So I just have to balance it with what my body wants to do. So anyways, I love you guys out there. Thanks for your support. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to our channel. I'd love to have you join our growing family and help us reach our first goal of 500 subscribers, because once we get there, we will have our next giveaway. Anyways, wherever you're at in the world, I hope life's treating you great. As always, if you're facing struggles, I hope that you're pounding those bitches back and persevering. Never give up. I love y'all.